Hi, everybody. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in. My name is John Anns. I am the presenter of the Ashtonwood House Concert Series here at our home, and we're doing this for the first time. But tonight we're going to have a quick conversation and interview with our artists coming up in just a couple of days, really, by the time you see this. Champian Fulton and Nick Hempton. They'll be here on Saturday night, July 24th, both to a small live crowd as well as a virtual crowd. And we hope that you're planning to come back and watch the concert. And we really look forward to it. So now, through the power of Zoom, I'm going to bring Champion and Nick in.
Hi,
Hey, welcome.
Hi.
we're here.
Awesome. So,
Very comfortable in that way.
so Champion and Nick, thank you so much for for joining us, and for doing this. So this is the first time we've actually ever done this sort of interview pre an Ashtonwood concert, and we thought it would be great for people who don't know you guys as well to get to know you. And I guess while we'll talk about Ashtonwood in a minute, the elephant in the room is no one's been doing much for the last 18 months or so. So, but that's not your case necessarily. So what have you guys been doing? What's gotten you through the pandemic?
Should I talk about live from lockdown?
Yeah, go first.
So, this feels like a very long time ago, but last March when things started to shut down, I was pretty upset. And Nick had this idea that I should go live on my Facebook page, do a live stream and sort of like connect with people. And I think I did the first one at the end of March or like third or fourth week of March.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun and the response was so great. And it just became this thing that I did since then every week. And I played music and I would talk every Sunday at 5 o'clock on my Facebook and my YouTube channel. And that live from lockdown totally saved my life during the pandemic.
And it's still going.
It's still going. So it's not every week now because now things are opening up a little bit more and I'm getting back on the road, but it's twice a week. And actually there is an album coming out soon, like a commemorative souvenir, live from lockdown, the CD.
Awesome. And when will those be available?
Well, they are currently available to everyone on my mailing list, and they will be available on social media soon. And the official release date, like on Spotify and iTunes and everything like that, is September 10th.
Awesome. So now, so things are opening up, and it's not like people are gigging 5 nights a week yet, but it's getting there. So, I mean, I haven't been to New York since lockdown. So what's that like? Is it coming along slowly? Does it feel good? Is it just everyone's just so thrilled, or is it baby steps?
It's a little bit of everything, actually. I mean, technically all the restrictions are lifted right now. So if you go into any of the clubs in the village, it feels like the old days. It's as full as it ever was, which feels fantastic.
Yeah.
But there's still jazz is kind of making a slow comeback. There are a few clubs that hung in there throughout the whole lockdown, and they're back, like Smalls and Mesro and the Django and the Roxy. But there's not a lot yet. It's taking its time.
And Champion, you just got back from Europe.
Yes,
right.
I was in
which and actually, at some point we'll mention this. It seems like you're hitting Europe, for 2 and 3 day stints, like every couple of weeks for the rest of the summer. But so how is it over there? Are they behind the curve a little bit, ahead of the curve? What did jazz in Europe look like last week?
Well, I was in France for 2 concerts, one in Bordeaux, or outside of Bordeaux, and one outside of Cannes. But I flew into Paris, and so I had sort of half a day in Paris. And the concerts I performed were outside, and it felt like last summer, like 2 summers ago, it felt like normal. But Paris was a little bit quiet, I think, because tourists aren't really back.
Right.
And even though I was able to travel to France, like traveling internationally is still it's a little bit tedious because you need paperwork and testing. And So I hope, I think it's great that it's reopened. I'm so happy about it. And I think as the year progresses, things will just start to get more normal and people will start to feel more comfortable again.
Great, great. So, um, Nick, a lot of people around here know Champion. She's, for a little town in New England, she seems to frequent our town from time to time, which is lovely, our little hamlet here. But people may not know you. So can you give us a little bit about what your bag is, Nick Hempton, your influences, things that, sort of drive you musically?
I find it hard to believe that my name hasn't spread that far, John, but okay. I'm originally from Australia. I've lived in New York for about 20 years now, and come from a classical family, classical music background. And I don't know, discovered some of the great jazz saxophone players as a teenager. And once I did that, it was all over. So I was listening to Dexter Gordon and Sonny Stitt records when I was about 15, and then somebody gave me a saxophone. And I found ways to make those sounds. And then New York was the place to go. So I came over here and attempted to fumblingly make my way. And I'm still doing that.
Awesome. Awesome.
We moved to New York actually about the same time.
True.
Although we didn't meet each other for a number of years.
Yeah, I mean, we were both playing sort of the same gigs.
We were playing a lot of the same venues and the same gigs, but we didn't really meet each other until, I don't know what, like
2007 or 8?
2008, something like that, yeah.
And I was gonna say, and until, I mean, it seems that you guys have started playing together more recently, but I haven't. Now there seems to be more sax in your band than there was, until recently, right? Although you did do an album with just sort of a duet.
Yeah, my record that came out in 2019, which is Dream a Little, features my friend Corey Weeds on the alto saxophone, who lives in Vancouver. But I think, and this is going to sound funny, but it was always really difficult to get Nick on the gigs or, on the recordings, because actually he's quite busy.
Yeah, I mean, that's always an issue.
With his own band and his tours and stuff. And so only lately have things sort of started to, to come together.
Yeah, I mean, we've had more time, obviously, since this pandemic happened. Yes. So suddenly we can play together, which has been, a blessing for us.
Awesome. Well, and great for us that you're coming out this way. So,
looking forward to it.
As I said, you've been here before, but again, South Hadley being a little New England town, all the venues out here, for the most part, I know you've played the Northampton Jazz Festival before, and that may be more traditional. Probably had a stage, probably had a decent back line and some really big speakers. But most of what you've done up here has been fairly non-traditional.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've played churches, you've played libraries. Tell us, as long as it's fairly positive, tell us what you like about, these sort of non-traditional, alternative venues to play music in.
Well, I like any opportunity I get to play music and interact with people and share my music with people. I love that. And I think there's something so charming about, people call them alternative venues now, but there's something so charming about an intimate and small space, such as the library. I think that was in South Hadley.
It was.
The library. And, the church concert, I really loved, not only the venue, but, the way you curated it with me and Nikki. That was something different that I hadn't gotten to do before. So I've really enjoyed playing up there and in a smaller space where I could really get to know members of the jazz community.
Great. And I will say this also, this will be the first time we've ever had a saxophone at Ashtonwood. So
really,
yeah, so we're branching out, we're trying to, broaden our minds and a variety of other things.
Well, we've had lots of, I've actually never played at Ashtonwood, but I've been to Ashtonwood, and there's always like a lot of flugelhorn playing.
Really?
No, because my father, obviously, right. My father was Stephen, but also like there's been other flugelhorn players present at the after parties.
There was we'll just call him Peter.
Yeah,
Peter was there that night with his flugelhorn. And our mutual friend Benny Benak has played Ashtonwood officially. Although he was just playing his traditional trumpet that night. Um,
Well, I'm
so
going to change everything for you guys, John. Once you've heard the saxophone, that's all you're going to want after that.
There you go.
we can't wait. We can't wait. The other thing about this event is that because it's sort of midsummer, we're holding out the possibility that it may be outside, right? It may be from our deck to a to a crowd on our lawn, and which luckily though, if it's not great, we can come inside. Do you how are you guys with outdoor events, assuming it's not 103 or pouring?
Do you want to? You answer first.
Even if it's 103, I think considering today we can deal with it. We'll be fine.
But do you like playing outside?
Yeah, I love playing outside.
He likes to play outside, I think, because you can play.
I get to play loud. Yeah, always enjoyable for me. But no, it's nice.
I love playing outside, especially. I know, like the backyard is very pretty. It's like a very nice setting. But I sometimes I wish that I like to be on a real piano. So that's the benefit of being inside. So they both have benefits for me.
Great. So what sort of stuff? You don't have to give away too much, but what sort of stuff are we gonna hear on Saturday night?
Well, it's kind of funny for me anyway. Like now that I'm getting back to playing gigs and shows, I have recently redone my vocal book and trying to like go back through the list and pull tunes that I want to do this, I want to do that, and so I think you'll hear a lot of tunes from my album that came out last year, Birdsong, and a lot of tunes I think that suit the duo setting. Like I was really hoping, we haven't actually talked that much about it, but
First time I'm hearing it.
I'm really hoping to play like Lullaby for Art, my tune.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love Lockjaw and Johnny Griffin's Save Your Love for Me. I think that's nice, like with the duo. So we'll definitely be featuring the voice but also the saxophone.
Awesome.
I will try to convince her to do lots of songs from the Birdsong record because I actually know most of those. So
That's good. So the other thing that's happened since the last Ashtonwood is that we are now doing this not only with a live audience, but also streaming, because just because the quality of the talent really sort of deserves and demands it, and eventually we're going to run out of room on our property to put people inside our house or on the lawn, and yet it also became such a thing during the pandemic. So my question to you is, do you think this live streaming stuff is a fad? Do you think people are just going to eventually just want to come back in person, or do you think it's here to stay?
Oh yeah, I love it. So I love live streaming, and I think for me it will be here to stay because I really enjoy it, and I see so many people on my live streams around the world that I don't have the opportunity to see all the time. Like I have people who tune in every week from Brazil, from South Korea, from South Africa. And so I feel like that connection I really love. And I love the sort of, when I'm doing my show and there's not an audience present, there's like this informal way with the camera that I really enjoy. I think live streaming concerts will stick around, but I wonder if people will, I don't want to say get tired of it, but I do think people want to come back and like be with you in person. What do you think?
I think it's going to stick around for sure. It's just going to become part of the way that people experience music.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's no substitute for going to hear music in person, but like you were saying, people around the world who maybe don't have the opportunity to to go to jazz clubs or go to concert halls or whatever, this past 18 months has opened up that possibility for people. And I think that will stick around. People will definitely keep watching live stream music.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, just for myself as a fan, I know that I've been able to see musicians that I don't normally get to see unless they're on the East Coast or they're and in the case of the pandemic, and in the case of yourself and Champion, I hadn't people that I took for granted because I could see anytime I wanted to zip down to the city. It was the only way to see you guys as well. But I think that ability to stay in touch musically with people that you don't get to see very often, I'll be happy for it to stick around. I assume we're not going to stick this thing in a box and get rid of it. Anyway, so anything else that people out there should know about you guys before you hit New England?
I don't know. Do you have anything?
We're going to have a good time. You better come and join us.
Always, always. So I will remind everybody, it is Saturday. By the time they see this, it'll probably be this coming Saturday, July 24th. The live stream will start, that's the one thing, normally when we just have this without live streaming, we say, oh, maybe you'll go on around 6:30 or so. We'll see how much people are, whether they're eating, whether you guys are ready or not. But when you tell them it's going to be a live stream, we got to start on time. So it's going to start at 6:30. It'll be on the Ashtonwood House Concerts Facebook page. It will be live, and whether indoors or out. And, I know, speaking for everybody who's going to be here, that we cannot wait. And I hope that not only do we have an awesome time, but everyone else who joins us online, I'm sure they will as well. So we cannot wait to see you guys. But you're traveling again. You're getting another trip in between now and then, right?
Yes, but not really. Well, sort of not really a business trip because, well, it's a little bit because I am going to do live from lockdown but I'm going to Oklahoma. So my father, Stephen, my mother, Susan, my mother retired and they moved back to Oklahoma earlier this year. And so I'm going to visit them and hopefully like fish and eat barbecue. So it will be more of a relaxing trip than a work trip.
But you are going to do a show. I'm
going to do a show, and my mother did call me today to tell me that she had the piano tuned because she expects to hear a lot of piano playing.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, okay, noted.
Well, that is great. Thank you guys so much for joining me and for joining us, whoever's watching, and enjoy the trip. Play all the stuff that Nick already knows. And a
lot of songs. Don't listen to him. No, it's gonna be wonderful. We're really excited. I'm excited to come back and see everybody. And
this is my first time. I can't wait. So
we're really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. We will see you in a few days, and we just cannot wait. We can't wait to do Ashtonwood again in front of a live audience and to have you guys break it in for us. That's awesome.
Thank you, John.
Right. Thank you, John. Look forward to it.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.